I welcome you, wonderful audience, to my presentation tonight. Tonight, I shall be presenting a persuasion speech about an important topic. The topic I've chosen for tonight is cannabis must be legalized globally. Cannabis must be legalized globally. I strongly advocate the legalization of cannabis globally to facilitate the exploitation of its immense medicinal properties to solve chronic health problems and for nations across the globe to derive tremendous economic transformation from its cultivation. Here is a quick summary of what I plan to persuade you about. Too many people are arrested, fined, or jailed for possessing, using, or selling cannabis. Legalizing cannabis will create broad ranges of advantages and benefits. Cannabis will be developed into pharmaceutical products to treat patients. Individuals and governments will derive significant income and revenues from legal cannabis businesses. Legalizing cannabis will minimize financial burdens of families, prisons, and the government itself. My name is Andy Gbefo, a student of persuasion at the Amberton University of sorry. My name is Andy Gbefo, a student of persuasion at the Amberton University School of Business and Communication. I presume that some of you might have heard, seen, and perhaps used cannabis at least on one occasion in your lives. Perhaps you have known someone who has been incarcerated for using cannabis. Well, on my part, I have never seen nor ever used cannabis in my entire life. And sincerely, I don't know anyone who is incarcerated for a cannabis offense. But as a scholar of humanistic persuasion, I have heard and learned quite a lot about this wonderful plant and the various connotations ascribed to it by different schools of thought. I stand to make a proposition for the absolute legalization of cannabis, a broadly derided and highly controversial plant or product, yet a marvelous miracle cure for some of the world's most dangerous maladies. And by so saying, let me set the ball rolling. What is cannabis? And what are the controversies about cannabis? Cannabis is described as follows. Cannabis is a genus of the Cannabisae family of flowering plants. all parts of this plant, fruits, seeds, straw, leaves, and their products, including cannabis resin and hashish, are a type of narcotic type 1 prohibited for the use and trade, even for medical. This is by Gunnar Rosa Zazaris Triputra et al. 2. Cannabis is perceived differently by different sources. According to Yale 2020, a botanist thinks of it as a plant. A chemist thinks of it as a source of psychoactive substance. Narcotic enforcement thinks of it as a contraband. The judiciary treats it as a Schedule 1 controlled substance whose cultivation, possession, distribution is a federal crime. Just look at how gorgeous the cannabis plant is. Isn't this fantastic? Beautiful, attractive. That is a cannabis plant. Cannabis was declared by most countries as a dangerous drug, and they have banned possession and usage of cannabis. In the United States, the recreational use of cannabis remains illegal under federal law for any wild purpose by way of Controlled Substance Act of 1970. This is by Mackenzie and Wright, 2019. In the UK, cannabis is a Class B drug. It is illegal to possess, grow, or distribute cannabis. Possession of cannabis attracts fines or jail term for 5 years. Supplying the drug attracts 14 years incarceration. This is by the UK government, as cited in Yale 2020. Again, in the United States, several people are incarcerated for possession, usage, or for dealing in cannabis trade. For instance, according to OLEC, approximately 40,000 people were incarcerated in the United States in 2018. And according to Gramlish 2020, 40% or 663,000 of all drug-related arrests in the United States in 2018 were merely for possession of cannabis. Data about cannabis arrests in the United States in 2018. You can see this pie chart. For 4 in 10 US drug arrests in 2018 were for possession, sale, or manufacture of marijuana. Ladies and gentlemen, marijuana is another name for cannabis. So this pie chart, you can see the yellow or brown part is 40%. That is for possession only. And the previous slide, that 40% represents 663,000 people. And the vertical bar over here shows that 92% were for possession, 8% for manufacture, as a share of all marijuana arrests. Heroin is 25%, synthetic or manufactured drugs, and others. But my concern is about cannabis, and that is our focus. It is appropriate at this juncture to mention a few medicinal values of cannabis. What are the medicinal values of cannabis? The United Nations had declared cannabis as a medicinal product in 2020. This is by Thomas, 2023. And according to Hurley, Gbefo, and Afghari, 2020, they explained that cannabis can be used in the treatment of cancer. That's for pain reduction, multiple sclerosis to manage muscle spasm, or for AIDS for managing anorexia. That's fantastic for this cannabis. And here is a chemistry of the cannabis. At the right bottom side, you see steroids and then tritapenoids. The top side flavonoids, the left top side cannabinoids, and the left bottom side terpenes. All these are chemical properties of cannabis that are medically or medicinally very powerful and very useful, but at the moment, not a lot has been known about them, and drugs have not been manufactured in great quantities from this terrific plant. It is fabulous. In 2018, clinical studies by pharmaceutical companies established the effectiveness of marijuana, that is the same as cannabis, for refractory seizures. This by Kine and Bloomberg in 2020. Epidiolex, a cannabis-based oral medication, is used for treating Lennox-Gastaut syndrome and Dravet syndrome, two rare forms of pediatric epilepsy. That's fabulous, fantastic. Definitely, legalization of cannabis can open the gateway for aggressive research and development of myriads of cutting-edge drugs for the treatment of myriads of health issues. This certainly will be a win-win proposition. Next, we explore the economic floodgates that could be opened when cannabis is fully legalized globally. What economic opportunities can be derived from legalizing cannabis globally? 1. Illegal and underground cannabis trade will be eliminated and transformed into a booming legal economic juggernaut. 2. A study finds that the US government could generate 132 billion a B in tax revenue and create over 1 million jobs from full legalization of cannabis across the country. This by the Zima as started by Camus and Chavez and Rowing in 2020. The editor of the Yale Ledger 2023 postulated that legalizing cannabis could galvanize investment in associated industries for an amalgam of products and technologies. and the establishment of retail enterprises. Less developed and emerging economies can capitalize on the immense economic potential of cannabis. Individuals, small and medium-scale businesses could be empowered and facilitated to undertake large-scale cultivation of cannabis to generate revenue. Robust cannabis industries would metamorphose, producing various valuable products for the domestic market to boost economic growth. Employment opportunities would abound to absorb the teeming unemployed youths. Vibrant cannabis-related products export-import industries will flourish in numerous countries, generating enormous foreign revenue for economic development to benefit the entire nation. Government statistics indicated the following for the nascent legalized cannabis industry in the United States. That means the United States has somehow legalized cannabis for certain purposes, but not globally. And my proposition is for global legalization. The industry generated a lot of more than the industry generated a total of more than $8 billion in sales in 2017. Sales were estimated to reach 11 billion in 2018 and 23 billion by 2022. And now we are in 2024, but we haven't got the data for that yet. So it has definitely gone higher. There were more than 9,000 active licenses for cannabis businesses in the United States in 2017, which means businesses are booming from the trade, from manufacturing cannabis products. The industry employed more than 120 people. This is by Henrich. So the opportunities are there for people to really benefit from cannabis legalization. This clearly provides credence to the gigantic economic benefits that would proliferate across the global economy if cannabis is fully and unequivocally legalized across all states and across all nations. With hindsight on the immense medicinal and economic opportunities enshrined in the marvelous cannabis plant, I propose immediate and total legalization of cannabis globally. The following reasons are not finite. A few countries, including Portugal, Estonia, Belgium, Czech Republic, and Poland, have already legalized cannabis. This according to Tiwari and Ferry in 2023. And as I said, the United States has also done something partial, but not total. Legalization of cannabis will minimize illicit dealings in the products and eliminate cartels and dangerous drug trade syndicates. Countries can promote cultivation of cannabis on large scale for export to generate revenue for economic development. That's my advocacy for legalization of cannabis. A growing cannabis industry can be a vibrant avenue for employment of thousands of people, including ex-incarcerated individuals, to repair and rebuild their lives in a free society. Prison population will decrease and the huge funds of maintaining incarcerated offenders will be redirected to alternative positive causes. This by Camus et al. 2020. Pharmaceutical companies can embark on large-scale research and development undertakings to innovatively convert cannabis into various cutting-edge medicinal or medical products for the treatment of myriad diseases and ailments at affordable prices. All in all, this is a win-win proposition, and I strongly urge you to join me in sounding our voices loud and clear into the ears of the global powers that be to take urgent action to totally and unequivocally decriminalize cannabis in all its forms across the entire globe. Yes, cannabis must be completely legalized globally now. To conclude, it is important to recap why cannabis must be legalized globally. 1. Cannabis has been wrongfully characterized as an evil drug by governments all over the globe. The Controlled Substances Act of 1970 of USA declared recreational use of cannabis illegal under federal law for any purpose. This according to Mackenzie Wright, 2019. More than 40% or 663,000 of those arrested in 2018 for drug offenses were those found in possession of cannabis, merely possession. That's by Gramlich. Cannabis has very excellent properties for boosting medical health, such as for the treatment of cancer, multiple sclerosis, and AIDS, according to Howley et al., and epilepsy, according to Kahn and Bromberg. Nations across the globe can benefit from vibrant cannabis-based businesses and industries for economic development and minimize unemployment with a total legalization of cannabis. Moreover, financial burdens of prisons and law enforcement will be tremendously minimized and resources redirected for more positive development projects. Governments can generate substantial tax revenues from emerging cannabis industry to enhance their national growth and competitiveness. I call upon each of you to join me in this crusade to legalize cannabis in all forms across the globe. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in preparing this speech, I consulted numerous articles for information and data. And here are the references for those articles. This is the first page, and this is the second page. Quite a good collection of knowledgeable articles. Thank you, thank you, thank you.